very robust, and they had to convert a classroom to do it. And so we were going to repurpose this rather large room, which would be much more fitting to their needs than a typical classroom. We repurposed that to the Kickstart program. The other request was by the Lead the Way program. That's also in a converted classroom right now. And really their request was to try to be relocated closer to the shop because those students are using the wood shop building inside there on a very, very great place. We may look at trying to make that efficiency happen. Just to give you an idea, this is just a conceptual rendering of that area directly across from the library on the second floor, just in terms of looking at a type of flex space. Could be many different uses. We put in white furniture, not to suggest any furniture, but just showing you some different possibilities. But just from a collaboration area, particularly right outside the library, this area could be used for multiple purposes. And this is a conceptual on one of those corner classrooms that was taken away. Again, this is just a conceptual plan of what you might be able to do in there. Possibilities are really endless. We were looking at just maybe creating an entire wall that would be a marker board for the kids to come in there, do whatever they needed to do, and then it could be erased and let the new group come in. That's pretty much where we are at the district direction. We'll certainly take a look at any of the discussion that happened on Friday afternoons, and look forward to getting this to a final stage where we can move forward. The delivery on the contract document for this building is also at the end of January, as is the same schedule for all the other ones. Happy to entertain any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Hamilton, and thank you, Mr. Green, for sharing all of that with us. I'm sure the board has some questions or comments that they'd like to make. Is anybody? Mr. Rosenthal?
Could you repeat what the core is going to be designed for? Did you say 14, or we're dropping it from
14 to 30 is the core. Excuse me.
How does that relate to
Sir, we have PASA numbers. I don't have them with me, but we were basing the, we were giving you a memo that showed if the school was built. Those were based on the 1,200 student classrooms. So we're calculating this thing to open at somewhere around 54 or 55% full capacity.
Okay, so the core, you said it was 1430, but then you remove some of the classrooms, so it's actually lower, or that's the final?
No, the core capacity, support facilities, admin, cafeteria, gymnasiums, those types of things.
So it's still for
1430. Okay. In order to create some potential to introduce a 21st century, initially the capacity, student capacity will be right at 1,200. And if you look on the site plan, we have identified an area for future addition right here. Not only potentially replace those lost classrooms when the demographic shows that they're needed, but that footprint right there in a two-story configuration would represent about 20,000 square feet. So at that same time, if the fine arts program needed to grow along with the student enrollment, then you could also include that in the document.
Can I ask a clarifying question? So on the capacity, Mr. Rosenthal was talking about the 1,200 students. Is that the numbers we've been using when you're talking about 54, 55%?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, other questions? Mrs. Wilson?
So you said that some of the feedback that you got on Friday was locating those instructional pull-out spaces in the pod areas, and that's not done here. Is that you're going to go back and include that and try to do that? Is that correct?
Yes, and I can briefly show you just one example of that. This room right here is, I think, presently a custodial storage room. And by squeezing over this flex space a little bit, y'all have the IPS rooms scheduled at 450 square feet. So it's a simple replacement. Moving that room over to here, taking that IPS room and getting it into the heart of that pod. And that was a lot of the strategy on Friday afternoon about what can we move around, what can we tweak the walls a little bit with. But the end result was that we did get an IPS room into every pod in the building.
Okay, good, because that was going to be one of my questions. Okay, so that change will be made. You also said that the lead the way, they requested that be adjacent to the shop area. So I assume you guys, what is that going to look like? Is it going to be lead the way space, or are you going to take from some of the space down here?
We're going to examine that. One thing that did come out of the meeting on Friday was that those two health rooms that are directly adjacent to the shop area, there is no adjacency advantage with them being located right there. So they said that they could be relocated into other parts of the school. There is no specific lead the way room identified yet, but that seems to be a big part of middle school 13 as well. It's about half computer based and half hands-on building stuff based. So we need to kind of find the right size room that's a little bit bigger than a classroom. We're actually using one of the computer rooms for that right now. But the shop teacher did say there was a constant flow of those students down to his shop to be able to work on their projects. So we're going to try to get that down.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys trying to help find that. So just two more questions. We spoke last time about middle school ed specs or secondary ed specs, and kind of getting more, working those and getting those in place. And I know we don't have them in place right now before school 15 potentially gets built, but do we have a timeline for that? Is that something you guys have been working on based on some of our work from the elementary specs?
At this time, we set a predetermined schedule because we knew that we already had a plan. The school would be updated, and we don't have another middle school on the horizon because the next month. So I expect realistically by the time we do some of the other work that's very high priority, it'll be maybe mid to late 16 or early 17 that we'll want to tackle the secondary high school and middle school.
What classroom additions do we have?
Secondary level.
Secondary.
At this time, we do not really have any concentrations on all the other classrooms.
Okay, so that's high school. Okay, so I was trying to recall that. Just from my perspective, if we had any, and I was emailing about this earlier today, that when we're doing the classroom additions, I guess from my perspective, it would be helpful to keep some of that in mind, not only to
last conversation we had was between me and Ralph and you, and he has been on vacation since we spoke a week ago Friday, and so he assured me he would visit with the staff. He said he was going to sit there and work on this while he was gone, and then he was going to follow up with me on what I expect to hear from him by the middle end of this week. And if not,
Just, I'm gonna, I don't know how person board feels about this, so I'm just gonna throw my opinion out there because I did give an opinion that I wanted middle school to do in 17 if at all possible. I think it's needed out there desperately, especially as Johnson Development starts expanding and seeing the south. But I, this is an experience, and we've done this a few times now, that I do not feel comfortable putting either an elementary or a middle school in that area until we have another layout, until we have traffic patterns that are more favorable in that area, because right now we just have the one high school as it is, we're going in and coming out the same exact way, and we're just going a little bit further in, and now we're going to middle school and elementary school, which would just create additional congestion back there, and I do not feel comfortable doing that. So I don't know where we are on getting those roads built, but I don't feel comfortable moving forward on either one of these schools until we have another access point, particularly for kids that are going to be coming from the 521 area, which a lot of kids are going to be coming from that area to attend the middle school for sure, and that will be their home. So I'm just putting my 2 cents out there right now. I don't know how long it's going to take them to come to a decision, but I feel like I wouldn't feel comfortable moving forward until we had some kind of assurances that
Mr. Rice.
Well, I'll try to address, I wasn't intending to address your question or your comment, but I will try to address it. And I think that when the bond was put together, it was always with the assumption that the elementary school and the middle school would go at the same time. And so I think we have to be careful as a board. We're not always in control of what the developer is going to do, but we can't give mixed signals to the administration because it takes a lot of effort to get the AE teams kind of queued up for this, and so I think that we should proceed. I know you're uncomfortable. I realize that. But I don't think we should back off one bit. We need to go forward. And I believe that Johnson Development will get those roads in. And because if they don't, then they're the ones who are going to look silly, especially, and Mr. Cleaver, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, I believe that when we purchased that site and when we closed on the land, it was with the understanding that those schools would open in 2017. Is that right? So I think they're aware of that. And our protection, if you will, or kind of our rationale is that they've always known this, and that's in the closing documents. And then we've had these public discussions and have had communications with them. So I believe they'll get the roads built. I can't guarantee or promise, but I think that they want those roads in there as much as we do. And I share your concerns about having the circulation, but at some point in time, we just have to kind of bite the bullet and move forward with our plans. We've started off with the middle school initially, and the bond was going to go in 2017, then 2018, then we pulled it forward again, and to not move forward, I just don't think there's a reason for us not to move forward. while respecting your concerns. I understand those. But I really don't think that we'll have a problem getting that road built. And so I'll let you respond, and then I still have a question for you, Mr. Cleaver.
So I appreciate that, and I actually thought quite a bit about this before I came in tonight to say that, because it's not just, and that's my opinion specifically, so, I'm very torn about it, because we have promised them middle school for years now, and it's very much needed, and I know firsthand how much it's needed. My concern is that road, it's my understanding that that road's been promised for a lot of years. And actually, it's been not been built. So I have concern about when they're going to be built. So I hear you saying that they want to build as much as we want to build, and that eventually I believe they will get built, but I'm concerned about the time frame on that. And because I do know that it has, it has to do with the development out there. They're going to build the roads as they develop it, as they develop that back portion, which I understand. But in the meantime, we've got several thousand students that are attending three schools back there. Not only with parents being congested coming and going, but with what I consider to be a safety issue. So while I agree with you, and I think it's hard for us to, I don't think it's good for us to send the mixed signals of it, and I think it's a tough decision to make. But part of what drove me to come in today and say that is that I feel very strongly that it's a safety and security issue. And I feel very strongly, I've sat in it before, and there's no going anywhere. And that's with one school back there. There's no way out. And so I feel like that, in my mind, trumps moving forward with a plan that's going to impact so many kids and families in that area. I think that it's something that we can work with Johnson Development on, and that we can probably, I don't know how to think about it, but, and that's really what I would like to know. What plans do they have? What's the timeline look like? Do they understand the angst and the urgency around it from the district perspective? Do they understand that? I guess that's really what I would like to know.
Thank you, Mrs. Hassan. Mr. Riss?
Well, I have one more question, Mr. Cleaver, and that is, what is our construction budget for this school?
Right now, the project budget stands at...
I want the construction budget.
Yes, sir, I was going to lay that out. The project budget is $58 million, and depending on how we compartmentalize and subdivide that, it would be somewhere around 75 to 80% of that.
So what is the cost per square foot that you have allocated for this school? You can make me do the math?
No, sir.
Yes, what we're seeing right now is approximately $209 a square foot is what we're looking, but this is, early on in estimated design, so this has to go ahead and be developed before we can get to a good price. But we feel comfortable at this point moving forward.
209.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any other questions or comments? I'll ask you a question. Do we have, what's kind of the timeline for this? What are the next steps and what's the timeline for this project?
Obviously, the next steps are what we're doing here today, and then following that, we'll have the closing agreement for the land grant. That needs to occur in order for us to be able to get it in and be able to do our civil work. After that, there are some things that are dependent on Johnson, and they're moving forward, and that is the plant. It needs to be in place, and it is, at this point, it looks like they'll have that in November to submit, and then we'll be including the construction documents in January. We'll be bidding this project in February of 16, and looking at opening the seal proposals in March. And once we do that, we'll be coming back to the board and looking for approval of the contractor in May, and population is to proceed. And then we'll move forward with construction. This is obviously a very tight schedule. It doesn't have much room for any hindrance. We need to just keep behind it and just to get there. So we're installing documents and working for the school to open in January 2018.
Okay, so the next time the board would see this for some form of approval would be in May. Is that what I'm understanding? You say?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that's going to happen along with in the same timeline as the rest of the elementary schools that we're working on?
Actually, we have lined this project up with some of the reviews, some
Okay, but I thought that the middle school took longer to build.
it does. The elementary would finish in July, August time.
Okay, so it's another 6 months or so. 6 months.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Hellman?
Question. Do we have enough vendors for construction to handle all the schools set up to handle all of
The contractors at this point, have not mentioned, so we'll be developing the project. We'll put those out to bid, but we anticipate that we would have excellent participation. This site, what we're looking at doing is we're looking at bidding this to where a contractor could bid the elementary, a contractor could bid the middle school, or they could bid both. And we're doing that to see if we can get them to the scale. If we have the same number.
We are certainly subject to the market forces, and we do hope to have enough contractors. We will be starting a process to do vendor shows to get people in and know about our project. So we hope to have enough vendors present. We're certainly subject to the market, but we're going to do our best to market our own projects and get the word out there that we're a good district to work for and make our projects to be the ones that we want to be.
When are those vendor fairs scheduled for?
I would have to get with Mr. Fizzackerly on that. I do not have a schedule right now in front of me.
How many are we going to have? How are we going to reach out to the community? How are we going to advertise it?
I would imagine it would be like all the other folks do. It would be a combination of regular invites, it would be email invites, it would be personal invitations.
What about the minority newspapers and the minority chambers of commerce? Would we include them?
Mr. Rice, we would do our newspaper advertisements in the Chronicle and in the Herald, as typically we do with all of our bid projects. So we would also advertise these vendor fairs. We would do the same thing with the furniture vendor fair that we are looking to hold. So we would use those same processes, and we would also put up information on our procurement website, which the vendors look at frequently. And so we believe we could get the word out effectively that way.
Okay, I appreciate that, Mr. Fizzackerly, but I would like to I would like to urge the district, Dr. Dupree, to reach out to parts of the community that may not otherwise read the Chronicle or the Herald or go to our website by contacting some of the chambers, the smaller chambers of commerce, minority chambers of commerce, some of those. There's a National Association of Minority Contractors that we could contact, and just really get the word out so that they are aware of the event and could attend it.
Yes, sir, and I think you're aware that I'm also working closely with the Houston Independent School District and their minority reach-out programs. In fact, I'm attending one of their events tomorrow, and we plan on working closely with them as well to be sure that the small business community and the minority business community are aware of everything that Fort Bend ISD has on the radar screen.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Madam President, I have one more question for Mr. Hamilton. Blair, how many square feet is this facility?
I don't know the exact figure, but it's 228,000 and change.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rice. Mrs. Dawson, do you have another question?
I just had one more comment. Now that I'm hearing the timeline and you're just telling us that we're pretty tight and moving pretty quickly, given that, if at all possible, for us to get some kind of response on this road issue, I just see it as more of a urgency, given that we're moving so quickly and not on just one school, but both schools.
Yes, ma'am. No, you can trust we've made the board's questions on this very clear to council, and we're pushing as quickly as we can to get the activity and the responses. And we will provide them continuing updates as we get them.
Yeah, I guess I'd just like to reiterate that. I think that's kind of an important piece, and considering the traffic, you talked about a couple of weeks ago about traffic studies, and maybe you mentioned it tonight too, about traffic studies that are being done. And I can't help but think that that with only one main entrance in and out of Siena, and 3 schools lined up at the very back, that's just, to me, seems miserable. So I think it's good for us to check into it. I don't know that, I don't think the board has a real choice but except to proceed, Mr. Rice, as you talked about, kind of full speed ahead. We have to do that to have the school ready, and I would hate to have to come to a grinding halt if we don't feel like we have safe access or safe circulation around the site. So yes, we'll look forward to your updates.
I'd rather us have the school ready waiting on the road than the other way around. But I'm sure Mr. Dupree can give us an update. If there's no road, there's no safety hazard because no one can get into it.
Good point. Well, we're out. All right. Any other questions on this? Dr. Dupree, do we have another item on middle school 15?
No, ma'am. The item posted as item 2B. Administration's actually pulled that item. Upon further legal review last week after we posted the agenda, it was determined that the board previously addressed this in May. So we've saved a little time.
Awesome. So we're right on schedule. It's at 6:45. That's how much time I anticipated this portion of the agenda taking. And so we're now ready to convene in closed session under the Texas Open Meetings Act for the purpose of a private consultation with the board's attorney and to consider a purchase, exchange, lease of the value of real property. The board's now convened in closed session.